There is a storm brewing here in Mount Panorama, but it has nothing to do with the weather. It has everything to do with the electrifying drivers here in Division 1 that we're going to see on track here today. Welcome back, everybody, to another round of the Zeus GT League here in Division 1 here on our Twitch channel. And we got a fantastic race for you here today. 28 laps around this Mount Panorama circuit, 6.2 kilometers around, 3.8 miles, 22 corners. It is a high-speed track that has remained relatively unchanged since its original opening in 1938. In 1987, they added the chicane that comes from the bottom of the mountain all the way into the last corner. The chicane is known as the Chase. So it's going to be a really fun track here today. It'll be really curious because this is the first high-speed race we have done this season since the BOP changes that recently came out for all of the GT3 cars. Once again, everybody, my name is Patrick Coleman, aka Rekkus. I will be your host and commentator today for Division 1. Unfortunately, we do not have a stream for Division 2 tonight. As unfortunately, DJ has had some stuff he has to take care of. Wish him all the best. He will try to be here next week to stream Division 1. If he isn't around, then I'll be your host once again. Hopefully that's the case, because I know Div 2 had a really solid race in Laguna Seca last time out. And I'm sure they're going to have a solid race here today at Mount Panorama. But once again, we are here in Division 1 this time around. And I think it is about time to go ahead and take a look at some cars on track. Now, our grid is a bit smaller today than it was previously, but there are still some drivers joining in, so I'm sure this grid will fill out quite nicely here. So it's going to be a lot of fun. This is a very tricky track. I mean, it's very high speed. Obviously, you have a lot of high speed moments, but obviously the mountains have spelled doom for a lot of drivers, both in the virtual world and the real world, so drivers got to be really careful through that mountainous section of track. Super tricky, super technical, and passing there is basically not a great idea. It is practically a death sentence to try to pass through the mountainous section, which roughly spans from turn 7 all the way down to turn 18 roughly, give or take a few of those numbers. But yes, qualifying will begin right on the hour, so in about 8 minutes from now we'll begin with qualifying. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day here today. It is great to be here back with the Zeus GT League once again, and yeah, it's gonna be a really fun race here today, so I'm really looking forward to it. Mount Panorama is a track that rarely fails to deliver, and I think with how spicy this division has been in recent times, I think we're going to definitely see some really solid racing here today. Now, it is worth noting that Inferno Motorsports has been dominating so far. They have gotten pole position and won the last 3 races because we had that massive doubleheader in Laguna Seca last week for both Div 1 and Div 2. But we'll see if they can continue their dominance here today, as I think Inferno is actually running they're only having 1 car this week, as I have been told that they are unfortunately pulling out most of their effort from this series. And when I say effort, I mean just they're reducing the amount of drivers that they are running in this series. Some things came up. I wish them all the best. Hopefully we'll see them back again soon, because they had some really solid drivers. But yeah, I think it's now time to you guys have heard me ramble on and yap for a few minutes now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the things you actually want to see, the cars on track. So here we go. We have Jay Robies in the Mazda RX Vision GT3 car. Now, obviously the highlight of the season for this driver was the very close battle at the end of our first round this season at Spa. The really tricky and really intense battle between himself and the Hyundai of one of the Inferno drivers. I forget which one it is off the top of my head. I do apologize for that. Well, as you're watching him kind of tackle this tricky mountain section, a little bit of a snap there on the corner exit. Now there's such a rapid elevation change, and it can really unsettle the cars. Now I'm sure these drivers have done hundreds of laps of practice since then, or at least dozens of laps, trying to go ahead and make sure everything is okie dokie with the cars and just getting a feel for those cars as we hear that beautiful rotary engine just roar down the Concord Straight before he's heading into just, oh sorry, Conrad Straight. Heading into the Conrad Straight. Now he's into the chase before he goes down to the final corner of turn 22. And we'll see what his time is going to be. Now granted, we're not qualifying, this is just free practice, so times are really just for bragging rights and also for the viewers to go ahead and just kind of get a glimpse of what is to come. From the My Team Racing Esports, he will go ahead and set a time of a 2:05, which is about 4/10 slower than the lap time of ESP Brent, who we will actually switch to right now, who is in the IMB Corvette. Very solid driver as well. We're going to take a look at the rest of the field. We have it's Conan, who is running a Mercedes. And then we have Ananias running the Brazilian-themed Lexus RCF. One of the older cars on the grid. Although that is to no fault of Gran Turismo. I know we like to kind of poke fun at this game for having older GT3 cars. But in the real world, Lexus has not actually updated this version of the car. So this is actually the most accurate car, or most recent car that Lexus has provided for GT3 usage. And then we have the new Inferno Motorsports driver, Muser. I am probably mispronouncing that. If somebody in the comments knows the driver personally, or the driver themselves is in the commentary box, which I'd be pretty concerned if you're texting and driving. But if there is a correction to that name pronunciation, please let me know. And then we're going to head to TWR Mercedes, who's, I know I joked about this in the Div 1 stream, but TWR Mercedes is not in a Mercedes. He is actually in a rival German car in the BMW. The British driver making another appearance. And then we have Solakidis in the other My Team Mazda RX Vision, another very rapid driver. And then we have Chicken Curry, who is racing the Velocity Racing Porsche. And then we have Darth Vader, one of the drivers in the B&H machine. Or I guess I could say Boats and Hose. I'll probably say B&H, just so we don't get flagged by Twitch for whatever reason. And then we go to GT Ahmed, who is a new driver coming in this weekend, this week, I believe. So he is in a stock Viper GT. And then we have Clemson in a BMW, or Clemison in the BMW. We have Crago also in a BMW. And then we have, let's see, and then I believe that's everybody. Don't think we have missed anyone. And as you saw from the comment down below, the qualifying will start in about 2 minutes time. The drive's about 15 minutes of qualifying, and then we have a massive race on our hands. It's gonna be a fun one, honestly. I've been looking forward to this one all week, and I am really glad to be here with you guys here at the Zeus GT League. Hopefully you guys are gonna enjoy yourselves as well. Be sure to drop a follow, so you know whenever we go live here on Twitch. We do actually have two different categories that compete here on Twitch. You have the Zeus GT League, the GT3 series, which is Fridays at now 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States. It was 4 p.m. previously, but Europe had a time change, so it shifted an hour earlier. And then we also, bi-weekly, we have the F1 RL Race to the Top series, which was really fun. If you guys saw that on Saturday, really fun one-make endurance race in the KTM Crossbow. It was pretty fun to watch. It was a 90-minute race, so you're always going to have a lot of action. Pit strategy obviously playing a huge part in how that race got situated. But yeah, so be sure to check that one out also on the Twitch, and every race that will appear on the Twitch stream for the Zeus GT League will appear once again on the official YouTube channel, which is also Zeus GT League. Go ahead and drop a like and subscribe over there. This race should be up within a few hours of the race being completed. So we will go ahead and definitely check that one out when it happens. Or you guys should definitely check it out. If you want to re-watch any of these races, the races from Division 1 for the last 2 rounds, and then Division 2 from the last round at Laguna Seca is available. Unfortunately, there was no stream for Division 2 for Spa, and there won't be one for this race here at Mount Panorama. So you'll have the Div 1 stream only, but it should still be a lot of fun. I think we're just waiting on... I think we may be waiting on one driver, or that might be a Division 2 thing. I am not sure. We are going to currently... we're on board now with Ananias. We're going to stay on board with this Lexus as it continues to go ahead and do a lap. Although I don't think it'll finish this lap because it is about time for us to get started with qualifying. Qualifying should start any moment now. But let me tell you about just a little bit of history with this track. This track has had, I mean, it's a very dangerous track. The categories that are most known for running this track are both the GT World Challenge, who actually had a race here not too long ago, I don't think. I think it was only a month ago, roughly, give or take. And I know, obviously, Australian Supercars, which is a really fun series if you haven't watched it. I've watched it here and there. Australian Supercars is like peak touring car racing, or some of the best touring cars racing you're going to see, aside from what we got here at the Zeus GT League. And it's about to be time to go ahead and get started here for qualifying here at Mount Panorama. You heard the little siren, and now it is go time here at Mount Panorama for qualifying. Now, granted, I know we have balance and performance enabled, so we won't get fully unrestricted lap times and unrestricted pace, but I'll go ahead and drop a little bit of history and some fun facts for you guys. The fastest time ever recorded on this track was in 2018 by German driver Christopher Mize, 159.291 in an unrestricted Audi R8 LMS GT3. Will any of these drivers get close to that? We will find out. And it looks like Clemison is going to be the first driver to go ahead and start his lap in that 9PP BMW. One of the teams running a bit of a split livery design. His teammate Craigo has a yellow design of the same livery, while Clemison is running the orange, which is pretty fitting because there is a college here in the United States named Clemson. It does have the E in the middle, so it's not exactly Clemson, but Clemson, the university, actually also runs orange. So I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it's a pretty cool little coincidence nevertheless. Alright, so speaking of Clemson, he is going to go ahead and make a run down the mountain. He's on to the Conrad Straight, heading up to the chase. This is one of the best spots to make overtakes on the entirety of the circuit. So definitely keep an eye out for major overtakes here. He's going through the chase, and then we'll stick on board with the British driver going into the first qualifying lap of the session. He's going to go through turn number 22, and now he's going to start his lap. The first corner on the track is called the Hell Corner. Not sure why it's referred to as that, but that is what it's called. He's going through turn 1, now he's going onto the mountain straight. The run up to the very treacherous mountain here, Mount Panorama. We're going to go ahead and ride on board now onto the hood cam of this BMW as he navigates through this mountain. Really tricky braking zone here. If you misjudge your braking, you could rear end somebody, or you can make a really good overtake accidentally. It is a pretty tricky spot to overtake, but overtakes can happen here. He's going to work his way up the mountain. Very tricky corner. You can see him playing around with the throttle. He even had a little bit of a snap there going through the corner as he makes his ascent up the mountain. He's almost to the top of the mountain, at least in terms of the track itself. Now he's about to go on a massive downhill part. This is the part where we definitely want to ride on board now with the British driver. And I mean, oh, it's so tricky. You could get it so wrong there through this mountain section. He's navigating it nicely. He's getting close to some of the corners though. There is a bit of a breeze going northeast, going through the mountains here at about 8.7 feet per second. But he navigates it beautifully. And now he's going to go ahead and make the run down the Conrad Straight, going into Chase Corner. The car behind, which I believe is Muser. Yeah, it is Muser. He's going to get a really good tow from this BMW up ahead. We know the BMW does do pretty good when it comes to straight line speed. He's got one more corner left to navigate, and actually Muser's probably got a really good tow, so I think Muser might get a provisional pole here, even after Clemson takes the line. We'll see how it goes. He's going to come across the line, ends a 2-minute 5.252, and then Muser, getting that good tow, jumps up to P1 by almost a full second. 2:04, and then Brent is going to go ahead and make a move too. And now we're going to head on board with GT Ahmed. Ahmed has got one corner left to go. Now we'll see what his time is going to be. It's looking pretty rapid though, so he might have a really good time here in that Dodge Viper. It's good enough for P6. Only 9 thousandths away from Ananias. That is really impressive. Really, really impressive here for a debutant. Although it might actually, hang on. Nope, it is actually just a default Viper. I know sometimes there is a glitch where the livery sometimes doesn't load in properly, so it shows you like a default car. I know it's a problem with the super formulas, but it might not be a problem here. We're going to stay on board with the Saudi Arabian driver as he navigates up the mountain. It was a purple sector 1 when he got to the midway point of the mountain straight. We will stick on board, see what happens, and you're going to get another view of this very beautiful but yet very tricky mountain ascent here at Mount Panorama. We're about a third of the way through the session now, a little bit over. And I mean, he is getting really close to these walls. He's getting onto the curves. He looks like he scripted the wall just a little bit as we have a few more drivers that popped in last minute. Now he's about a half second off. Oh, yep, there's contact there. So that's his run done. We're going to go ahead and drop a car below and take a look at the... Oh, I always get these flags mixed up, but I believe that is the Finnish driver, Conan. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in chat. But he's going to go ahead and navigate his way up the mountain. We'll see what he can do in that Mercedes. One of the lone Mercedes drivers out on track. I think he is actually the only Mercedes that we have in the field here today. Unless one of the new drivers that just joined has popped in. And actually Muser and Solikidis have both set new times. Solikidis now on pole position for the Mazda. We'll see if anything can happen here. It is it's a blue sector for the Finn, but it is not a purple. So in terms of Gran Turismo, if a blue is similar to a green sector that you might see in like F1, where it is saying that it is a personal best, but it is not a session best. He does touch the wall a little bit there. Now what you're probably going to do is you're probably going to see a lot of drivers coming to the pits occasionally to get fresh rubber, but you really want to get that car as light as you humanly can, and that comes from running a few laps. Still improved times here from Conan. We'll see what he can do as he navigates through the chase. He's going to go ahead and he's got one more corner left to navigate. We'll see what the Mercedes driver can do. Oh, nope, he's coming into the pits. So that is him abandoning that lap. He must have not liked what he felt. And now we're going to go on board with a BMW of Mercedes there. Part of the Year 1 racing team. I think he is the sole representative of that squad here today. So we'll see what he can go ahead and do. He's making his way up the mountain. He does have a car ahead of him, I think. He could get a good tow if he times it up nicely. He is currently 1.2 seconds off of pole position here, set by the Greek driver of Solikidis. Let's see if the British driver of Mercedes always taps the wall a little bit. Gets really close to the wall, too close for comfort. He just taps it ever so slightly. And now he's about to make his descent through the mountain. Very good speed there. He's actually not too far off of his personal best time. And yeah, he is sending it. Very good line through the mountain section. We'll see what the split is when he comes down the mountain. He is now on the Conrad Straight. We'll see what he can do. Exiting of, I believe that's turn number 17. And he's just got to make his way back to the start finish straight. Now he went to the hard part of the track. He will pass the slow moving Viper. He could have, I think he got a little bit of a toe from that Viper, but not as much as Muser got from Clemson earlier. And it is currently a Mazda 1-2 at the moment, with the My Team drivers sitting in first and second. Now we did see a 1-2 last time out at Laguna Seca, but it was a different team entirely. That team was the Inferno cars, but there's only one Inferno car here today. And it might be only one Inferno car for the remainder of the season, which is a real shame considering the rapid start that the Inferno drivers had going into this round. Had a pretty good lead in the championship, winning all the races so far. We're actually going to go on to the other 9PP driver of Crago. Crago now making his way up the mountain. Him and his teammate are right next to each other, about half a second apart, but over 2 seconds off of the pole position time, so they definitely got to make some moves happen here. Now, unlike the real world, there is an infinite amount of soft tires you can use, and the soft tires are going to be your quickest option around this mountain. Oh, he's about a half a second up, so that will at least put him ahead of his teammate. Now he's got to navigate this mountain section. I mean, it'll get him under 2 seconds to a pole, but you really want to be closer than that. The photographer getting a really good shot there of these drivers as they just roar down the mountain. Now the Mazda behind, that is Roby's. Roby's is going to get a really good tow from Crago here, and the tow is really, really important. So this may help Roby's actually usurp his teammate. But right now, it is a Mazda 1-2 here at Mount Panorama. We are down to the last about 4 minutes left of qualifying. Time flies when you're having fun. Then on this next lap, we'll find a car and we'll do... Actually, we'll save that for the race. Crago comes in and he goes across the pits. Unfortunately, Crago, you can't park there, sir. Let's go and take a look at that again on a replay. Yeah, let's just try to diagnose what kind of happened here. So he just goes in. Oh, he just didn't brake early enough. Just didn't brake early enough. And that was pretty much all she wrote for that. Now Crago is officially coming into the pits. A driver we haven't really talked about is Chicken Curry. He is about 2 seconds off, and as you see the timer now, Chicken Curry does set a new personal best for himself, but it won't be enough to jump him up the standings. He'll improve his time, but not his position. He will sit in P10. He's in the top 10, which is good, but he is only ahead of Crago and Darth Vader. And actually, the B&H driver is right behind him in that Ferrari. They did update their livery last time we saw them in Spa. They were running a Lewis Hamilton style livery, but now they have an official B&H livery, which honestly looks pretty good. I will say I am a big fan of this B&H team and their livery. It looks really good as we see it roar up Mount Panorama. I see a few people in chat, or at least in the stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Be sure to go ahead and drop a follow, and then go ahead and like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, where this entire VOD will be uploaded once we are done. Should be within a few hours of the race wrapping up. As we see Darth Vader getting a little bit squirrely here. The dark side is not enough to help him get 100% grip, as Muser sets an improved time. That's going to put him, he's going to split the Mazdas now. We're going to ride on board. We'll stay on board now with the Ferrari. He is getting a tow from the car up ahead. That is the the Velocity Racing Porsche of Chicken Curry. He is 1.2 seconds up on his previous time, so that is going to at least jump up several positions. That tow is really going to help. I'm seeing some messages in chat. I somehow doubt that was a good thing. Staying on board now with the American driver. We'll see if he can slingshot himself up the order here. Is he going to force lift himself into a higher position? Yes, he is. He's going to put himself in the 5th overall, almost 4th. So that's a massive jump there for the American driver in the Ferrari. Now we're going to be on board with Muser, the sole Inferno Motorsport representative here today. It is purple, so he is trying to usurp Solikidis in that Hyundai to make it a 3rd Hyundai pole position in a row here in Division 1. Now I know a lot of people coming in may have not thought that this Hyundai would have been near the front, but this Inferno Motorsports roster has been on top of qualifying and also in the races too, because so far they have dominated here in Division 1, taking pole and winning every single race so far. It is more purples. Now he's only got the chase chicane to navigate, and then just the last corner of turn 22, and he'll be home sweet home in provisional pole position as there is 20 seconds left on the clock. It'll be one more lap, and Solikidis is actually done. He is done with qualifying. He's in the pits. He won't be able to have time to set a lap, and outlaps aren't going to count even if his outlap is faster. And by 3500ths of a second, Muser goes ahead and makes it a provisional pole. It is the final lap, but now we're actually going to go ahead and be on board. Can Robies retake pole position and make an upset here? He's got one more corner to navigate in that Mazda. It looks like he got a little bit on the grass. I don't think this will be enough. It is not going to be enough. It's not going to be an improvement of time. So Mazda won't be able to grab pole position here. We'll see if anyone else has the chance to usurp it. It looks like it might be Mercedes. The TWR driver in the BMW has got one more corner left to navigate. Can he make this stick? Can he go ahead and take pole position away and disrupt that 100% pole position rate that Inferno Motorsports has? He's gonna punch it out of the last corner. This is a decent time, but it won't be enough. It will be an improved time, but not the fastest time of the session. Now Darth Vader will go ahead and try to see if he can usurp the oh, never mind, that's not even remotely close. Yeah, just taking a look through everyone. Ahmed is the next car to try to come across the line. No, it's not going to be fast enough. It's not going to be an improvement on his time. So let's see. Yeah, so it's going to be not four poles. It is going to be 3 for 3 on pole positions here for Inferno Motorsport. Muser is the only driver that's left on a lap, but it's not going to matter. Everybody else is finished. So that means once he comes across the line, it will be fully officialized that it is 3 poles in a row for this Inferno Motorsport squad. Hyundai takes its 3rd pole of the season, and he is just going to go and chill there, get a little bit of a practice start going, even though we use a rolling start here as Zeus GT League. But once again, Hyundai domination here in qualifying, but can they keep it up in the race? That is going to be the question at hand. He's going to come across the line, and by 3500ths of a second, Hyundai takes pole once again. Inferno Motorsports 3 for 3 when it comes to pole. Can they be 4 for 4 when it comes to race wins though? We'll have to find out. We'll be back here momentarily. Don't go anywhere because we have 28 laps around this track and it's going to be a blast. We'll see you in a bit. Alright, a very quick rundown of your qualifying position in our starting grid for this race here. We have Muser in the Genesis, in the Hyundai Genesis for Inferno Motorsport, followed by Solakidis, Robies, Brent, Mercedes, Darth Vader, Idkonen, Ananias, and then we had Ahmed, Chicken Curry, Clemison, and Craigo. 28 laps around this circuit. I'll go ahead and run through these again because I think we had a cancellation. So, interesting stuff here. I think we've had a cancellation of some sort. I'm not sure what that's going to be about, but we'll see how everything goes. Oh, there we go. I think we're going to go ahead and get prepared for the race. And then we'll be back once we hit to the track. We'll see you in a bit. Actually, I understand now. So the reason why there was a bit of a break momentarily is we had some drivers join in late. That would be Kira, Timgren, Rantala, and I believe that's it. Actually, I believe those are the drivers that have joined in mid-session. So we will have a full 15-car grid. And then the grid will be set. I'm not sure exactly what order the latecomers will be put in, but we'll see how it goes. And we'll be back once again when we go green. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back and it is time to go green here for 28 laps around Mount Panorama. And this race is just going to be absolute cinema. We're going to start on board with our pole sitter. It is 3 for 3 here for poles here for Inferno Motorsports and the Hyundai. So we'll see if they can convert it to 4 for 4 race wins. They won the season opener. They won Laguna Seca, and now Mount Panorama is underway. We'll see how everything plays out here. It is a good launch there from User going into the first corner. Now he is on the mountain straight. He actually got a really good launch there compared to Solakidis behind in that Mazda, but we know that Mazda does have some really good straight line speed, and he's got the slipstream, so I'm sure he won't fall too far behind of this Hyundai. Now let's see what can happen in the corners here, and it looks like Brent is actually thinking about making a move into the section onto Roby's. Thinks twice about it. Gonna go on board now with the Corvette as he roars through this mountain section right behind the two Mazdas and the dominant Hyundai so far. A little bit of tailspin coming out of the corner now. Now we're gonna jump back on board with the Mazda, with the Hyundai, to stick around till the final bits of the first lap. Words were not wording there for me momentarily. But right now, grip is definitely gripping for Muser right now. He is accelerating perfectly fine through this mountain section, and he aces the hardest part of this track so far. That very deceptive corner that looks like you could run it straight on. He makes it through just fine. As they rumble through Mount Panorama, there's not much of a gap now between these two cars. As we're gonna ride now on board with the Mazda onto the bumper cam. Is he gonna go ahead and make a move onto the Conrad straight? It looks like it. It looks like it. He's got it, and he's got the move done. But now, will Muser fall victim to the Mazda behind? Will he fall to two separate Mazdas? Nope. He will survive, but he gets a little bit onto the gravel there. A little bit on the gravel. And Solakidis is leading the pack now, coming down to the last corner of lap number 1. And it is completed right about now. There we go. Now it's completed. So first fastest lap is a 2:10. That'll obviously trickle down because that was just lap 1. And it looks like Roby's might even be shaking for a move here onto Muser here to make it a 1-2 for Mazda and the My Team Esports crew. Let's see if he can make the move now. We saw Brent's thinking about a move in this specific corner, but Muser shuts the door. If your opponent goes wide, then that's a snap. That is a big snap there from Muser there. I don't know how he only kept third. Let's go ahead and check the replay. See if we can get a better idea what happened. So here he is now. Oh yeah, I think he just got held on the throttle a bit too much there. So that's what happened there. He's still in third place though, but it is a Mazda 1-2. These two can work together now and just really run away from this pack. So Mazda's in a really good spot, looking to take the first win and snap that winning streak that Hyundai has had here so far in the series. Bit of a snap there from the French driver from My Team Esports. And we're gonna actually swap a bit to the two Dutchmen. Actually, the one Dutchman is pulled away. The other one is under attack now from Mercedes in that BMW, which is still a very funny sentence to say. But Mercedes now on the hunt for P4. He's gonna have a good draft, and I love this view. But we're gonna switch views here. We're gonna go in and pop into the cockpit view as he chases down Brent. Brent has caught up quite a bit to his countrymen in that Hyundai. As we're gonna stick around on board now as we go ahead and begin the lap number 3. And it looks like Mercedes is having some pretty good pace now. He's catching up to Brent. And Brent isn't really catching up to Muser. And the two Mazdas seemingly have just run away with this one for now. We're actually going to flip the script to go to the back of the pack. momentarily, because it looks like we might have a battle here between Montala and Crago here momentarily. The Finnish Mercedes driver looking to make a move onto the BMW up ahead. The two German manufacturers battling it out now. Let's see if there's going to be a move going into the ascent. Oh, he's shaking for it. He's shaking for it. Is he going to have the real estate though? Is he going to make the move? Yes, he does. What a move from Montala. He had the speed, he had the slipstream, and he's got the move. And now Chicken Curry is the next car he is going to look to take on. Oh, here we go. Here's a battle I wasn't expecting so far. We got a three-way battle here for P7. Darth Vader ahead of Ahmed and Tim Grin. Tim Grin was a driver that we didn't see until now, at least for today. In the Alfa Romeo, the sole Alfa Romeo here. We're going to get on board with this car as he goes down this mountain section. He's in a really good spot to capitalize, but he's also in a dangerous spot because there's no little margin of error here down this very dangerous mountain section of Mount Panorama. So if either of these two mess up, then he's in a good spot to either make the move happen or just get stuck. We're going to jump one car ahead and look at the Dodge Viper of GT Ahmed. See if he can make a move. He's shaking for it. He's got the move. And he's got good straight line speed compared to that Ferrari. And he's going to make the move. He's going to close the door. But Timgren is thinking about making a move now. Is Vader going to lose 2 spots? Yes, he does. He loses 2 spots there. And I mean, he was kind of a sitting duck. He didn't really have any car to slipstream off of. So therefore, he just ended up losing those positions to the 2 cars that did have slipstream. But I feel like the order is really going to reverse once again here momentarily. As we go on to what I'd like to call the driver cam. He's going to go ahead and you can hear that turbo stuttering. It is such a beautiful sound in Alfa Romeo 4C. Both cars getting a little wide there. As we see, we're going to see another overtake before the mountain. We'll stay on board with the Alfa Romeo here. We'll actually switch to hood cam now and see if he can get this move done. It is a purple sector for the Alfa Romeo. Can he make it something stick? He thinks better of it. He really didn't have the run to make that move stick like we saw earlier on with Mercedes, but yeah, it's pretty good battle here. This getting super close. 2 cars are getting really, really close. About a 10th away or even less now. They're about to hit the 100ths of a gap. Very good race here so far from these 2. As the Finnish driver is trying to chase down the Saudi Arabian driver, trying to make up another position, trying to get into P7. And these 2 have really kind of pulled away from Vader in that B&H Ferrari. We'll stay on board with this battle, but we may switch a few POVs here and there. Hope that is not the one I meant to do. I have to switch to this POV right here. As we go ahead and take a look at the rear wing camera from the top of this Dodge Viper. Now you can see Timgren getting super duper close there, just unable to make anything happen. But can he make something happen here on the Conrad Straight? We will find out. It's going to be a good run now, but actually I think that Viper's top speed might just give it the edge over that Alfa Romeo. We're going to stay on board with this view for a little bit, just until we hit the corner. Oh, so close yet so far away. Not enough to make it stick. And it looks like Ahmed is going to keep that P7 for a little bit while longer. We're going to go ahead and try to switch up and see if we got anything here brewing towards the front. It looks like maybe something between Brent and Mercedes. This would be Chevrolet versus BMW. ESP Brent. And the pink IMB Corvette up ahead. That is a very, very pretty livery for the Dutch driver. We'll see what he can do. It is purple again. So drivers are setting purple. And actually, Timgren did get the fastest lap of the session in an Alfa Romeo. So that's really impressive. I mean, I know the Alfa Romeo is a very lightweight and small car, so it's pretty nimble through these corners. So I could see it being really strong here. Already, actually, speaking of Timgren, made quite a few positions already. Starting from the back of the grid, or at least in that, from the range of P12 to P15. Or sorry, P13 to P15, because he didn't set a qualifying time. But still, made up quite a few positions. Now up into P7. Currently the highest of any of the drivers from earlier. And now we're gonna look at the two Mazdas for a bit that are really, really close. We're gonna drop back one to take a look at Roby's, and they've pulled a pretty good gap onto the Hyundai Muser. So Muser is really struggling now at this stage of the race. It just looks like that the Hyundai just looks unstable. He just seems to be losing it in some of the corners here on the track. So that's unfortunate. Still going to be good points for his team and also some good points for his personal driver standings. But he's really got some work to do if he wants to catch up to those Mazdas up ahead. Going to switch back now to take a look at the BMW and Corvette battle once again. And I do apologize once again for that please refuel thing that is appearing on your screens. It is a UI glitch with the replay system. As cool as the keyboard replay system is here in Gran Turismo, it is sort of buggy at times. This is one of the few bugs it has. It is a personal best lap for Mercedes, but not quite a time to usurp Tim Grin, who has the fastest lap of the session so far in that Alfa Romeo 4C. Speaking of the Finnish driver, we're going to go ahead and shuffle back to him real quick, see how he's doing. He's pulled away quite a bit from Ahmed. And then, oh, it's another purple. So this Alfa Romeo is really strong on this circuit. I wouldn't have thought about it, but it makes sense. The car is short. It's got a really short wheelbase compared to some of its competitors. I think it might be the shortest wheelbase out of the GR3 cars. If there's another GR3 car with a shorter wheelbase, let me know. I mean, maybe the VW Beetle, I think. I haven't really compared the two side by side, but I know we haven't. I think we saw a Beetle in Division 2 last week, if my memory serves me correctly, or it might have been even Division 1 that we saw a Beetle. I know we saw a Beetle at some point last week. Not one here today, unfortunately. Gonna take a look at this backfield pack here. Ananias hasn't had the greatest of races here. Currently in, oh, he's got massive damage though. He's got front left suspension damage and also front aero damage. So turning is not going to be his friend. He's got Kira behind for company. And I mean, the nice thing about this is you can't really make an overtake here unless you do something really risky or you send someone to the Shadow Realm in the process. He is going to have to fix that damage when he comes into the pits, but so far he's managing pretty well, despite suspension issues being one of the last things you want going through this really technical mountain section. So honestly, kudos to Ananias here for keeping that car out of the walls, at least while having suspension damage, so must have put it in a wall at some point. Now we're going to switch back to, let's see, who we're going to switch back to. I'm trying to see who's actually ready for a fight. It actually might be a few positions back. Okay, here we go. It looks like Mercedes and Brent are going to have another round to go at it as they make the run up down the mountain straight before they begin their ascent up Mount Panorama. So, in chat, as we see a purple sector here from ESP Brent, who do you think is going to win this race? Do you think we're going to see another Hyundai win, or are we going to see the Mazdas take it for once? Or somebody else entirely? Let us know in chat down below. And also, as always, if you want me to go on board for a lap with any driver, just go ahead and drop it in chat. You don't need to use any channel points because I don't even think we have those set up. But go ahead, just type it in chat and I can go ahead and fulfill that request, as long as it's not a last lap battle for the race win. I am pretty flexible otherwise, as we are already a seventh of the way through this race, or about to be. Actually, pressure, we're already a quarter of the way through this race. Man, time flies, doesn't it? We're already a quarter of the way through this race. Those medium tires taking a little bit of abuse, but it looks like the wear is pretty consistent across all four tires. So it's not a track like, say, Barcelona, which really is super aggressive on that front left tire. But yeah, and speaking of our calendar, we have a very stacked calendar here, folks. It's going to be really fun. Next race, we're heading to the Circuit de la Sarthe in Le Mans. It'll be our 90-minute race, first one of the season. And actually, we only have one other 90-minute race. So it will be 19 laps around the Circuit de la Sarthe, and that is next week on Friday. So definitely stick around for that. We're going to aim to have a stream in both divisions once again. Division 1 will definitely have a stream. It'll just depend if it's on Twitch or YouTube. We will cross that bridge when we come there. But, I mean, staying on board with this BMW, he just gets so close yet so far away from the driver up ahead. That number 44 BMW Mercedes X50. Setting blue sectors, but just been unable to really close that gap to that Corvette. Yeah, just been really unable to. Oh, I think I heard a hit somewhere. Is that? I could have swore I heard something hit. None of these cars are damaged, but these two Mazdas are really close to each other. That could be nerve-wracking if you are a team principal or team owner watching your two drivers go around this very tricky track at such a close proximity. But one thing to know is that the wind has died down a bit. Now, it is going to get a little cloudy at one stage of the race, but this race is expected to stay dry for the entire duration. As we see, Roby's get a little squirrely on corner exit, burning up those rear tires just a bit. But yeah, these two Mazdas are doing exactly what they need to. And Crago has actually left the room, so that is our first retirement of the session. Crago is out. We are down to 14 drivers on track. That's one of the 9 double P BMWs, as we're going to go ahead and jump down to the other remaining 9 double P car for a bit of Clemson. And oh, that car is in dire straits. Front suspension damage on both sides and front aero damage, so that he's going to have to head back to the pits and get that one fixed up. We are running heavy damage here in this series, so if you have damage, your only option is to come into the pits and get it repaired. Luckily, the mechanics are ridiculously quick here. So, well, we normally take a crew about 15 to 20 minutes to swap out suspensions. Takes these drivers takes the pit crew here only a few seconds. So that's actually really, really good. So you'll still lose time, obviously, and Timken's actually the first one to come into the pits. He does have damage, but he was on that soft tire compound, so that explains why. He's going to get a fresh set of those Goodyear tires, and he's going to go ahead and get a splash of fuel. We'll see what tire he fully switched to, as we won't know until he comes out of the pits. He's probably going to top off on fuel in the Alfa Romeo. He is definitely going to do that. And now he's going to come out. We'll see if he's... Yep, he is pivoted to the medium tires. Normally I would have called it as it was happening in the pit lane, but I know that the tires don't update on the UI until after they make their way out of the pits. So he's going to be the first driver to make a pit stop. And once again, these two Mazdas are just so close to each other. It's like they're racing in formation, like a fighter jet squadron. And oh, it looks like there might have been a bit of contact, but we might see these two Mazdas pit in soon. The nice thing about Gran Turismo is that you can double stack and get away with it because the cars use separate pit lanes. So unlike Formula 1, you do not share the same pit lane. So you can go ahead and just double stack your team, pit them in at the same time. And in these cars' cases, just get them on a fresh set of Michelin tires, and then you are pretty much good to go. No problems here, but these cars are so close. I would honestly be terrified as a team leader watching my two drivers. I would be super glad that they have the gap that they do to the car behind. I'd be so nervous about them being that close to each other, but they know what they're doing. They are professionals. Roby's almost got a win on Spa, or season opener, which had what I still think is probably the highlight of the season for Division 1. That last lap battle between himself and one of the Hyundais. Actually, I'm going to go back and look at what name that is so I don't forget. But yeah, we're going to stay on board with these Mazdas. So it was a very close battle between the driver we're currently on board with, Jay Roby's. He was so close and yet so far away. He got passed on the very last lap. I am looking to see what driver it was. The document that had our standings, unfortunately, didn't register. Oh, there it is. It was Rocket. That's right. I remember now. So him and Robies and Rocket had a really tight battle. What is still a highlight of the season, and I don't think my voice box has actually fully recovered from that moment. But yeah, it was a really good battle, really fun, and really, really dicey, and that's why Spa is a certified classic. But so is this track that we are currently on here at Mount Panorama. It's currently round 3 of the season. We're on lap 10 out of 28. And actually, speaking of, let's see. Looks like some interesting things happening here towards the back. As you see, Timgren has caught up actually to P13 and P12. Nothing bad happened to Timgren. He just made a pit stop. So he's on fresh rubber and full fuel. And now he's really going to try to make a hard charge against these drivers. Let's see what he can do. He's got the BMW up there. Oh, is he going to make a move? Oh, this is not the spot you want to try to make a move. I mean, it looks good for a highlight reel. But he gets the move done anyway. Timgren on the fresher rubber is going to go ahead and move up into P13. Let's get that again on the replay because that looked really nice. So we're actually going to go onto the cam here, and it looks like Kira just went wide, and then Timgren just kind of slotted himself right in. Excellent stuff there for the Alfa Romeo driver. Now he's got Ananias that he's going to try to hunt down. Ananias still carrying that damage from earlier on, so that is unfortunate to say the least. But Timgren could definitely try to make a move there. He'll probably get a... Oh, he's going to try to get him into turn 1. He's got the fresher rubber, and his car's not damaged. And that was an easy move there for the Alfa Romeo. And he is up into P12. Now we're going to slip up a few positions. Just going to see if there's any other battles going on. It doesn't look like there is. I mean, there's Montala, a driver we haven't really talked about a lot today. Driving the Mercedes, one of the 2 Mercedes drivers here today. The teammate of... Ikonen. I was trying to remember how to pronounce his name, so I scrolled up a bit. But I think a lot of these drivers are going to pit in very, very soon. It'll be really interesting to see how the rest of this race plays out. There is a few notable absences here today. We know that Romadino isn't here and Venomous Venom isn't here. The two drivers from H1B and XM Motorsports respectively. Maybe they'll be here next week. We will go ahead and find out. But so far, this has been a really solid race. No major incidents, at least not any we've caught on stream. As we're actually gonna, speaking of Ikonen, he's actually caught up to Mercedes up ahead. And actually, I'm not sure what happened to Brent. Brent's back. I think Brent might have pitted, actually. Let's take a look. Yeah, Brent went ahead and made a pit stop, so that's why he dropped down the order. Jumping back up now to P5. As we see Ahmed coming into the pits. He's going to go and shed those medium tires and get some fuel in that Dodge Viper. But we'll come back to that, and we're coming to another round of BMW versus Mercedes. Mercedes under attack by a Mercedes. Is Mercedes going to get passed by a Mercedes here? Try saying that one 5 times fast. Although that was not much of a tongue twister, but still pretty ironic that Mercedes is being pressured by a Mercedes while driving a BMW. I would never not find that funny. But anyways, Ikonen now, trying to chase down that BMW up ahead. Trying to chase down the imposter, if you will. The Mercedes does not in a Mercedes. See if he can go ahead and get a move done and dusted. We're going to ride on board now with the Mercedes. And once we get to the halfway point, we will go ahead and do an ASMR lap. Just so the viewers at home can just enjoy the loud engines of one of the cars. And I mean, that was a beautiful descent there by Ikonen there in the Mercedes. He's going to get close to TWR, but not quite. He might have a good run up, though, on the Conrad straight. See if he can make the move happen before the chase. If that is possible, then that is going to be really good there for the Finnish driver. He's going on the chase to pass him before the chase. He's getting closer. He's within 2/10, but not enough. He was thinking about a move, but just did not have that kind of real estate. He might be able to get him, though, but at this point, you might just be better off trying to undercut the BMW ahead. Oh, it looks like Mercedes is actually going to pop into the pit lane in that BMW. And the Conan is going to swing into P4, but he'll probably have to pit in next lap. So he's got to make this lap count. And more importantly in this battle, Mercedes has really got to make a move. He's going to switch to a new set of Dunlop tires here. We'll see. He'll probably go on to another set of mediums, I would imagine. And probably try to top off on fuel as well. Got to make his way into the pits now. Those medium tires have seen better days. Gonna throw on a new set of tires and go ahead and get fueled up. The neon pink, green, and black car in the pits. We'll see if what's gonna happen here as we enjoy the pit stop and a little bit of a breather. I think he did switch to another set of mediums. He's gonna come out just ahead of Ahmed, which Ahmed's gonna pass him because he should have more speed. And yep, that's probably going to be an easy pass. But it looks like that BMW actually got the speed pretty quickly now. Ahmed now going to try to make a move into this corner. He's on a fresh set of medium tires. And he's setting purple sectors. He'll get the move done. But Mercedes is definitely going to want that back. Taking a good look now at our top three. The Mazdas have really just ran away with this run. They pretty much stuck in each other's slipstream and just pulled away. Very nicely done here from this Mazda group, and even nicer that they haven't ran into each other yet. Because that is the one thing you never want to do as teammates, is collide with each other. Now we're seeing the skies get pretty cloudy here, but according to our race briefing, it is not supposed to rain at all. Just a few clouds going over the circuit, but it should brighten back up here towards the later stages of the race. We're actually going to go ahead and slink back down to a battle between Brent and Tim Green. Tim Green has actually made up a few positions now. It is Brent, it's Corvette versus Alfa Romeo. Let's see if this is going to be or result in another pass here from the Finnish driver. We're going to go on board now. He's going to try to chase down Brent. Is he going to get him before the chase? No, he's not. He's going to have to wait and try again later. He'll probably get him. He might get him on the start-finish straights, or he might get him on the mountain straight. We'll see. This is a pretty close battle here for P8. Chicken Curry is going to go and get to the pits. He has 0% fuel left. So that car was basically, like, very thirsty. That car had a sore throat. Probably get some fuel to cough drop for that Porsche. And Vader's into the pits as well for the Ferrari. Now we're going to go ahead and get on board. Now we're going to go onto the driver camera. See if he can go ahead and get through. Is he going to make a move going up the mountain? Brent moves defensively. Is it going to be enough? Oh, it's going to be late on the brakes, but Brent holds it off. Excellent job there from the Dutchman. We're going to go ahead and get a replay of that. And actually take a look at it from a different perspective. We're going to look at it from the rear wing camera. Saw the lights for a little bit there. Purple sector, he's positioning his car. And Tim Grin's looking for it, but just a door shut there by Brent. And he's going to keep that position just for a little while longer. Now we're going to switch to we're going to stay on this hood cam for a little bit as we watch the driver kind of navigate through. And then actually, once they get down this mountain, we're going to go ahead and do our ASMR lap on board with this Alfa Romeo. Or we can actually go towards the front. I'm thinking actually we can go towards the front of the pack and check it out there. But it looks like Tim Grin did get a better exit. We'll see what can happen here as the two front runners actually make pit stops now. The two Mazdas decided to call it into the pits. We'll see what they do. And also Muser is going to come into the pits. All those cars, the top three making their pit stops now. Top 4 actually making the pit stop now. And the two cars go side by side, and Timgren is gonna try to send it around the outside. Doesn't got it. A little bit of contact there going through the chase. Timgren will have it for a little bit, but I think Brent is just gonna have the inside line coming into the last corner now. Neither driver wanted to give up the position, and I think, yeah, Brent just, around the outside. The more tire grip for Timgren is gonna allow him to stick into that position, and he will take the race lead momentarily as Munizer actually comes out in front of everybody. What happened there in the pits? I think Solakidis and so Solakidis and Roby's actually topped out on fuel while Munizer actually decided to go on a lighter fuel load to try to jump these two Mazdas. We're gonna go on an ASMR lap on board with the Hyundai as it does its out lap, and we'll be back shortly. That was a good lap there, and it seemed like he pulled a decent gap up to his rivals behind, and it looks like they actually both just kind of got stuck behind this Alfa Romeo. As Timgren, who pitted very early on, is currently in second place, and he's keeping those Mazdas behind. Seems like the Mazdas are unable to get past. We're actually going to switch back to P5 here, because this is a really tight battle between Brent and Roby's. Roby's is trying to get past. He wants to be back in P4, but a little bit of a tire snap. And actually, I think Muser might have actually made the right call. He fueled up on about half fuel, and now he wasn't stuck in traffic like the two cars in front, or the two Mazdas that were in front of him earlier on. Oh, here's going to be a good view. Roby's was thinking about sending up the inside. He's got the better tire grip, but he just did not have the pace, did not have the space. And Roby's just cannot get past this Corvette. He was so close to winning in Spain, or in Spa. Just could not get past. And Ananias is actually out of this race too. So that's our second retirement of this race. We are down to 13 drivers now. And oh, that Mazda sounds so good. I'm sorry, I am an enthusiast when it comes to rotary engines. I think they sound really, really good. Kind of wish my car had one, although a Hyundai with a rotary would be kind of weird. But Roby's was trying to make a move up the inside onto Brent. Just couldn't get it done there. Can he make the move this time? Going into turn 22? No, he can't. Brent is holding him off really well. That is incredible stuff from the Corvette. This Mazda's just not able to get past, and that's really hurting their race. Brent in the number 38 Corvette just holding Roby's behind, and I think Roby's is going to try to get him before going into the mountain. He's got to make the move here on the mountain straight. because he's really got to try to get up to his teammate. It's a purple sector for him. He's going to try to make the move happen. No, he can't get it again. Once again, Brent is just becoming the Dutch Minister of Defense here and just continues to defend from that Mazda. And I know Robies must be getting really frustrated now. He wants to try to catch back up. Him and his team at a 1-2 at the moment. Is a little bit of a snap there from Robies. I mean, it was a 1-2 at one stage of this race, but now they're 3rd and 5th. And Timgren has really just pulled away from the pack, aside from Muser. Muser's really pulled away from the Alfa Romeo. But taking a look at lap times now, it's a 2:03, so it's the fastest lap of the session for the Hyundai here. And then we switch back, and it was a 2:05, so 2 seconds of a difference there. And I can promise you that's got to be due to traffic, as we switch back to the other Mazda, who is desperately trying to get ahead of Brent. He's going to have to just make an overly risky move here, but I mean, look how wide that Corvette looks. I mean, granted, it's not super wide, but I mean, Brent just has his elbows out, makes that car look wider than the Great Wall of China here. And once again, just not enough real estate to make a move. He's going to try to send it around the outside, but once again, just can't get it done. Let's go ahead and get a replay of that from the player camera of the Mazda here. He's gonna get really close now. Brent is gonna move up, and he's just gonna block him, almost putting him out into the grass. He's gonna try for a move there. It looks like even a little bit of contact between the two cars. So I mean, yeah, it's just he cannot get past Brent, and the battle continues now. This is for P4 on track. I mean, Robies will get ahead once Brent has to make his eventual pit stop. The move is finally going to happen, maybe for Robies, but Brent does that inside line, and you really want to be on the inside, but go to the mountain. Can he stick it around the outside? No, he cannot. And Brent, once again, just closing the door. He does not want any Girl Scout cookies or to buy some auto insurance from Robies, and he stays in 4th. Now, and here's the thing too, those medium tires are cooked. They are really, really cooked. They're looking like slices of toast right now. And all those cars are so close. They're touching. They've got to be touching now. And I mean, Robies is just looking for every opportunity he can to make that overtake, but it's just nothing shows up. He's trying to be the ultimate opportunist, but nothing's opening up. Brent is making that car seem super wide. Just really solid defense here from Brent to keep that Mazda behind, and just more, it looks like maybe more contact between these two. I think those medium tires are just burning up. We're gonna go on board now with this Mazda, and as we hear those rotaries just rev and yell, he's gonna try to make the move onto Brent once again. Brent is trying to hold him off, but can he do it this time? No, this time Robies finally gets that move done. He's been trying to make for several laps now, and I think this is when Brent is going to come into the pits. He held off that Mazda as long as he could, but now it is time for him to kind of just hang it up. Now Mazda is now finally free to go chase after his teammate, and yeah, I mean, I wonder how much that hampered his race though. It's actually, Ahmed is actually not too far behind. Let's see if there's any other battles happening on track at the moment. And yeah, Robies has already pulled away quite significantly from Brent. Well, let's look at the lap times there. 2:07 for, oh sorry, that is for Brent. It's a 2:06 there for Robies. And then let's take a look compared to his teammate. His teammate had 2:04. So, and yeah, so I mean, right now, Muser is about 2/10 faster on those soft tires, but he's got to pit again. He got out of that traffic. He built himself a little bit of a buffer now, as we are on lap 19 out of 28. And Muser's really just got to make this lap. He's just got to make every lap count. He's got clean air. He doesn't have to worry about lap traffic for a very good while, because the closest lap's car is about to hit lap or turn number 22. And that's basically half the track away as the wind has picked up here a little bit in Australia. Yeah, I mean, take a look at any battles. All these cars have kind of spread far apart now. We'll stay on board with the other Mazda, where one Mazda was trying to get past. Another Mazda's trying to catch up to the car up ahead, and I think Timgren and Muse are gonna probably pit around the same lap. They're gonna be in the same situation, honestly. Timgren, I mean, he did an undercut earlier and it jumped him several positions. So even with, say, about 20 seconds lost in the pits, he's not gonna drop down super far because everybody else is still gonna have to make another pit stop. So these early pit stops might have really played well into the favor of the front two at the moment. Although Munitzer wasn't really more of an early stop, it's more of an early release. He's got about a 4.5 second gap now to Timgren behind. As we take a look now at Solakidis as he's trying to catch up to Timgren up ahead. It is a purple, so he is definitely on track to make it an improved lap. The number 333 car of Solakidis here is trying to chase down Timgren. We'll see what can happen here. It's a move. It's going to be the same case like the move from Robies and Brent. It's a move that's going to have to happen sooner or later, or else, I mean, it's really going to hurt his race and really start to benefit Muser. Now, I mean, you really can't pass on this part of the track. I mean, you can. Not recommended, but you certainly can make an overtake here. It is physically possible, but not ideal. As they come through down the mountain now. Through what is... I'm sorry, that is the wrong corner. Yeah, through the trickiest part of this mountain section now. There's no room for error. I mean, you're going to have to try to send it up the inside if Timgren makes it or goes wide on the exit of turn 18, which he doesn't. So now they're on the Conrad straight. But we know that Mazda's got some really good straight line speed. So I think it's a matter of when versus if Solo is going to go ahead and pass him on this lap. Well, actually, no. He didn't quite close up the gap enough. And are we going to see another situation like what we saw earlier with Robies and Brent, where the Mazda just cannot make the overtake? It doesn't matter. Oh, but I think that's going to be a penalty, though, for the Alfa Romeo. I think he crossed pit lines there, so I think that's going to be a penalty. Now there's a 5-second gap between the two. And yeah, I mean, Muser's just like, those off tires are just burnt. So it's definitely going to be pits this lap from Muser. But here's the thing. I think he can do, right, he made those soft tires work. So I think he can make the he can go for the soft tires again and fuel up a little bit and then just make another go at it. But at that point, Solo might actually just go to the end here. So it's going to be a recovery drive from Muser, but we've seen that Hyundai do it before. We've seen the recovery drives that Hyundai can do. That Hyundai is a really strong car here in the Zeus GT League, and I think the updates might have just made it better. Because, I mean, so far, I mean, 100% pole position rate and 100% win rate so far. I mean, still, it's won three races so far. It won both of the races at Laguna Seca and then the race at Spa. The very climatic end at Spa. Very curious, though. Oh, Timgren did not actually get a penalty for that. Huh. But he's got to try to get past his countryman there of Rantala. Got to really try to get past him there, as this is the closest battle currently on track. We're going to see if we can see a move happen here. He fueled up. He's on the soft tires now, so he's got tires to push on. Is he going to make a move into this section? Yes, he does! Wow, what a move there! The fresher tires really coming into play. We need to see that again. I think this is the second time we've seen that move happen for this Alfa Romeo. The car is so short. It's got such a short wheelbase that can really make moves like this happen. He's going to go for it and send it up the inside. And he's got the move done. What a move! What a move there. I wonder if we can actually see that again. Yeah, let's see that again. This time from the perspective of Frontala here. Gonna take a look on board now. He's gonna just, oh, he went a bit wide there. That opened the door for Timgren just to slingshot himself through. What a maneuver there. And now Muser's gonna come into the pits. Getting a new set of Bridgestone tires and fueling up quite a bit. And he is out. He's gonna come behind. Oh no, he's just ahead of Timgren though. He is now P6. So it is once again a Mazda 1-2 here, and Ahmed actually is P3 in that Viper, but he's got to pit in this lap anyway, so unfortunately he will very likely lose that P3, but I mean, seeing a Viper in third is pretty neat. And God, you could hear those rotaries from like a mile away. Like I don't know if you guys can hear it on stream because I'm yapping a lot, but in my headset I am hearing that rotary just scream through the mountains here. Yeah, I mean, oh, that rotary sounds ridiculously good. Probably the best sounding GR3 car in the entirety of the game. But anyways, we're gonna kind of build it through the field here. We are on lap 22 of 28. We'll go through our grid here. We have Solakid is currently in the lead. His teammate also in the My Team Esports Mazda RX Vision GT3 right behind him in second. GT Ahmed in the Dodge Viper currently sitting at P3. TWR Mercedes in P4 in the BMW, and then we have Ed Conan in the Mercedes. And then we have former race leader Muser currently in P6, who just pitted in for fresh soft tires. Timgren in the Alfa Romeo, who's been a really standout driver here today. Rontala in the Mercedes sitting in P8. And then we have Brent P8 in the Corvette, or P9 in the Corvette. Darth Vader P10 in that Ferrari. Clemison, the last remaining 9PP driver, currently in P11 in the BMW. Chicken Curry P12 and Kira P13 with a 3-second penalty for track limits. Our two retirements were Ananias and Krago. Our two retirements of this race, and Munizer is going to go up a spot due to the pit stop of Ahmed. He's going to go ahead and come out behind Rontala, I believe. Actually, no, he's still fueling up. So he's probably going to, I would say he's putting on softs for this last stretch. In those nondescript tires. Yes, he is. He's going to come out just ahead of Brent, but Brent is going to go ahead and slingshot past him more than likely. Just because he doesn't, you carry more speed out of turn one. We'll see if we can see a bit of a minister defense move. See if Brent can get a taste of his own medicine here. Yep, just did not close that gap up just enough for Brent to go ahead and make a move. Now we're going to switch back towards the front of the pack as we see Ed Conan in the Mercedes chasing down a driver named Mercedes but in a BMW. And actually Muser is actually right behind. He's on those soft tires are definitely warmed up. They're hot and ready like a Little Caesars pizza. And he's gonna punch it. I mean, this is definitely like, if he was fuel saving before, he's certainly not now. He is going for it. He needs to go for it if he wants a chance of getting this win or even a podium out of this. Ed Conan doesn't have to pit again though. That's the thing. Ed Conan does not have to pit in again. He's gonna be good to the end. Mercedes will maybe have to pit into it again. But these front runners might not actually have to pit in again. So maybe that strategy did not work out for Muser or Timgren. Maybe that strategy did not play out. We're gonna see. We still have about 5 laps left to go now to see if that actually happens. We do have someone who just joined the lobby. Unfortunately for him, he won't be able to participate as we are already on lap 24 out of 28. 5 laps to go. Mercedes actually does make a pit stop. So I think a lot of these drivers are going to go ahead and try to make their pit stops sooner rather than later. Muser does get promoted now, but I think Conan might actually just have strategized his way into a podium spot here. But Muser is really going to have to go ahead and just turn on the afterburners if he wants to get that position. We're going to be on board. We're going to stay on board with these two for a while now because this is the battle for P4. Or sorry, P3 actually. This is the battle for third. That last podium spot now between Idkonen and Muser. We know that the Hyundai is strong. He's on soft tires. He's on the fresher and quicker tire. Got about the same amount of fuel, so these two cars can really push all out. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this battle turns out. I think Muser is going to close that gap up in the tricky technical section of the descent from the mountain. He probably won't make any crazy moves like we saw earlier from Timgren, but he's going to get close enough to where he can just slingshot past when we go onto the Conrad Straight. Making his way down the mountain now as it sits. Good stuff here from Muser. He's going to go ahead. Oh, he's super close. He's going to make this overtake pretty much right as they start the descent. The downhill push. He's got the speed. He's got the slipstream. And he's got the fresher tires. But does that Hyundai have the straight line speed? I think the Mercedes might edge him out on that regard. He's going to back off and slot himself behind the Mercedes. Maybe try again later. Oh, is he going to try to make the dive through the chase? Nope. He thought about it. He shirked for the move, but decided against it. Ultimately, I don't think that would have ended well for Muser. I think that would have resulted in some contact and some damage, and then that definitely would have let these two Mazdas run away with the win. But wait! Roby's has damage! Roby's has damage, though. Got front left suspension and aerodynamic damage. So that's going to cost him time, but I think his teammate might actually get a race win here. Solakidis now 7.5 seconds ahead. Like, he would have to pit to lose this race, and I think he'll probably just try to stick it out. He's not going to be under pressure from anyone, and he's got his teammate as a wingman, as Muser does get ahead. And actually now we have a really tight battle here. Let's see if anything happened actually specific. Yeah, Muser just got him through the corner. We're going to take a look at the Alfa Romeo. Yeah, I think it's just being the lead car in a slipstream train, it just doesn't really work out for you super duper well. Yep, and that's how the pass happened. That's how the pass happened. And actually, are we going to see an Alfa Romeo here who didn't qualify, mind you, on the podium? That is very possible, though. But, I mean, yeah, I mean, tire wear is about the same and fuel is almost exactly the same. And yeah, I mean, I think we might, I don't know. I think this is, I mean, Solakidis, it's his race to lose at this point. 20 seconds ahead of Muser. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I think the pit stop might have kind of ruined the race for him. The undercut strategy not playing out in his favor, but the car right behind him, it played out in his favor. Definitely, the Alfa Romeo on the undercut strategy has jumped from at minimum P13 all the way now to P4 on track, and is on track for a podium. I mean, yeah, this is looking really good. 3 laps remaining now of this race here at Mount Panorama. It's a Mazda 1-2 here now, but there is a lapped traffic car in between themselves and Muser. But, I mean, that's an 11-second difference. I don't know if he... I mean, I think there's got to be a massive mistake from Roby's for him to really catch up. You really got to put like 5 seconds a lap on that car ahead, and I just don't think that's going to happen. So I think as long as Roby's doesn't pit, or Sakotis doesn't pit, I think this is very much a Mazda 1-2. And it will be a very well-deserved win. I mean, they pretty much dominated from lights to checkered flag, essentially. I mean, they haven't really been passed on track. They've pretty much just been passed on just from when they made their pit stop. And even with the damage on that Mazda, I mean, Roby's is doing really good. He's lost a considerable amount of time to the car behind, yeah, but I mean, that's a lapped car, so even if Kira makes the pass, it's not really going to affect much here. Because we're going to actually head to the back of the pack a little bit. See if there's any good battles going on throughout the field. There is not. It's just this battle for the last podium spot here between Muser and Timgren. Now, here's some other statistics too. And let me go ahead and double check this just to make sure that I am correct. If Timgren gets the podium spot, then the Mazda will be the only car that has a 100% podium rate here in Division 1. Because right now, I mean, the streak is over, I believe, for Muser in that and the Inferno Motorsports Hyundai. I think that their win streak is done. They still have a pole position streak, which is impressive in itself. But I think the win streak is over for Inferno. But the podium streak is still for grabs. Because Sakotis, well, granted, it's not Sakotis that has been on the podium every single time, but his team has. That Mazda will be the only car that has a 100% podium rate if Timgren gets past Muser here. And I mean, that just speaks to consistency. And in the championship, if you're not consistent, then you're not gonna win. You need to be super duper consistent, and you need to be fast. And so far, that is exactly what these Mazdas have been. But also Timgren as well has been really, really good in the Alfa Romeo. Curious to see what he can do when he gets an actual pole position possibly, but it'd be really interesting to see what happens if he got a full qualifying session and try to qualify. We'll see where he can place. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna stay on board now. But wait, he can maybe make it though. Wait, hang on. This might add an extra bit of drama to this race. I think Solo's got enough fuel to make it. I think he does. If he pits though, his teammate might actually take it. It still would be a Mazda win, I would imagine, but that Mazda 1-2 might be under threat if he makes the pit stop here. No, he's gonna go around for the final lap. But is he gonna run out of fuel though? He might have to turn on that fuel saving mode. In these cars, you have a fuel map that you can go from a 1 to a 6. But the higher numbers being the more lean you're running your fuel, or basically the less horsepower you're getting out of that engine. While the lean horsepower setting does make it to where your car is slower, you do save more fuel. And I'm thinking in this case, as we are on the final lap of this race, I think Solakidis actually has got this done and dusted, even if he puts it on max fuel saving mode. Yeah, I think we pretty much have our grid done and dusted here. We're going to follow Solakidis as he makes his 28th and final tour of this Mount Panorama circuit. The final time he goes through the 6.2 kilometer circuit here in Bathurst, Australia. He's had a very clean drive. He has led this race essentially from lap 1 all the way till now. A little bit of pit stop, a little bit of a moment in the pit stops though, where Muser did retake the lead, but overall the strategy was sound from this My Team squad. And he's got only a few more corners left to navigate. This is his last time going down the mountain. He's only got a few more corners left to navigate, and an 11-second gap, probably the biggest gap we have seen so far here in Division 1. And Solakidis now, he's going down the Conrad Straight for the last time, the 28th and final time. He was chasing a win here today as he approaches the chase chicane. He doesn't have to chase much longer because he's about to win this race here. He's only got a few more corners left to navigate, and this race is as good as gold for the Greek driver. He's got one more corner left to navigate now. And you're looking at the first winner that is not driving a Hyundai this season. He's coming across turn number 22. And Solakidis and My Team Esports in the Mazda RX Vision. They take the checkered flag here first. In Australia, it's a race win, and it's a Mazda 1-2. That is going to do wonders for the scores of this Mazda team. It is a 1-2 here. And Muser's going to come home in P3. Tim Grin in P4. So the 100% podium streak for winning, or 100% win streak for the Inferno Motorsports Hyundai squad is over, but the podium streak lives on. Id Conan's going to come home in P5. Ahmed in the Dodge Viper's going to come home in P6. And then we have a big battle here. A last second pass for the final positions in the top 8. TWR Mercedes takes P8 off of Brent, and looks like a last minute scuffle. Or let's go ahead and take a look at that. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. It looks like, oh yeah, Brent just went wide, and Mercedes just shotgun past him, and he takes that final position. He takes P8. I don't know why I'm saying final position, but that final position in that top 8. Chicken Curry is going to come across the line. Looks like a battle here between Clemison and Vader. Kira's going to finish a lap down, and it's going to be a drag race, and Vader gets it. Vader gets it by 51/100ths of a second, and it was chaos there in the last few moments of that race. And your winner is that man right there, the number 27 Mazda of Solakidis wins it here. The Mazda driver taking the checkered flag. Gonna go ahead and save that replay. Beautiful stuff there. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, sorry, not the race settings. Let's go ahead and take a look at your results here. You have Solakidis taking the checkered flag here first. It is a Mazda RX Vision 1-2 here for the My Team Esports group, followed by Muser in P3. Tim Grant, who actually started from the very back of the grid, made his way up to P4, and with the fastest lap to boot. Followed by Id Conan, Ahmed, Rontala, Mercedes, and then taking a look at our next group, we have Brent, Chicken Curry, Darth Vader, Clemson, Kira, who finished the lap down, and then Craigo and Ananias, who have both DNF'd. That was an excellent race here, everybody. And if you enjoyed this, definitely stick around. We'll be back next week for Division 1 and Division 2. Once again, if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll be able to view this race in its entirety in a few hours' time. And then next week, we're going to aim to have Division 1 and Division 2 streamed for the next round at the Circuit de la Sarthe here in Le Mans. DJ Dent will be taking over the Division 1 stream on YouTube if he is available. He is a mighty fine commentator, so I hope that is the case. He did an excellent job last time for Laguna Seca. But yeah, it's going to be really fun. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next round at the Circuit de la Sarthe in Le Mans. It's going to be one of our 90-minute races. It's going to be an excellent, excellent show. You don't want to miss it. Once again, my name is Patrick Coleman, aka Rekkus, and this has been the Zeus GT League. The drivers are always bringing the thunder and electrifying driving. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you all next time out. Take care and have a good one.